Many new developments tonight in the case surrounding John Weldon. He's the man who tricked his girlfriend into taking a pill that caused her miscarriage. A judge's decision tonight means that Weldon will likely spend the next decade behind bars. Our Jacqueline Inglese has been on this story since we broke it last year. She's live in downtown Tampa outside the federal courthouse. Jacqueline.
Well, after a very emotional day here at federal court, John Weldon is back at his parents' house tonight. Now, a judge just told him it's a place that he is not going to be seeing for a very long time. And that is what brought his normally stone-faced father to tears.
I want a future for him, and I'm still praying for a miracle.
What Dr. Stephen Weldon wants, he won't likely be getting. The only foreseeable future for his 28-year-old son, John, a 13 to 15-year stint behind bars. Were you disappointed?
Yes, our experts were world-renowned.
A federal judge says he was not impressed by the lofty resumes of the defense's medical experts and sided with the prosecution's conclusion that the one pill of Cytotec John Weldon tricked his girlfriend Remy Jo Lee into taking caused Lee to lose her baby at 6 weeks. Despite some calling Weldon's actions disgraceful and even diabolical, his parents are standing by him.
He's a wonderful person.
Weldon pleaded guilty, but he was not anticipating that he will not be a free man until he's in his early 40s.
How's John holding up? I think that he was hoping for something different today.
Lee did not come to court today, but her parents did, and they got what they hoped for, but just weren't ready to talk about it.
We're going to speak with you guys later.
Lee's mother didn't need to speak. Her reaction in court said it all. I was sitting next to her as the judge gave his ruling. She'd been holding her breath for quite some time and finally let out a sigh of relief and began to cry. A judge will sentence Weldon now on January 27th. We're live in downtown Tampa. Jacqueline Inglese, ABC Action News.
Just within the past hour now, John Weldon, the man accused of giving his girlfriend a drug that caused her miscarriage, gets more prison time than he expected. Our Jacqueline Inglese was the first one to bring you this story, and she joins us live tonight. Jacqueline?
Well, inside this federal courtroom just a few minutes ago, I looked on as the judge looked John Weldon square in the eye, told him what he did was evil. He called him a coward and told him that because of all of this, he needed to make an example out of him, ultimately giving him 13 years and 8 months behind bars. We did hear from that 29-year-old in court today. He did get up and give testimony, his voice shaking and begging for mercy. He said what he did was inexcusable. He was also somewhat on edge because the entire time he testified, Remy Jo Lee stood up and was staring him dead in the eye. We also had very emotional testimony from Lee today as well. She talked about how she was robbed of being a mother and went on to tell the courtroom how she had already named her unborn child Memphis. Now, I was the first reporter to break this story and to speak with Lee. When she came out of court this afternoon, she fell into my arms.
You mind if we see the picture that you had? Why don't you hold it up for us? What is it of?
This is my baby, Memphis Remington Lee.
Feel bad?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Of course you feel bad?
Of course I'm remorseful for everything.
Now you can see I asked John Weldon a question as he left court. That is the first time he has ever answered reporters during the entirety of this case. Now, when when the sentence was read, his father put his head down and cried. There were some members of his family who were hysterical. And the judge went on to tell him that justice is finally here, and he's ordering Weldon to turn himself into federal marshals Wednesday morning. We're live in downtown Tampa. Jacqueline Inglese, ABC Action News.
She was tricked into taking an abortion pill by her boyfriend and lost her baby. Now her heartbreaking story is being used to keep future children safe. We first brought you Remy Lee's story last year.
Yeah, now our reporting has led to a new law that makes it a crime to kill or injure a fetus at any stage of development. And Lee is only talking with our Jacqueline Inglese about the change. Jacqueline?
The passage of this law is historic for our state, but it's also a law that came about through a lot of suffering on the part of 27-year-old Remy Lee.
This has been the hardest thing I've ever been through.
Remy Lee should have a baby at home, a boy she named Memphis Remington. But Memphis was never born, instead killed in the womb at the hands of his father.
He's still mine, and that's what this shows. Andrew might have taken his little body away, but he can't ever take me being his mom away.
John Andrew Weldon, Lee's ex, pleaded guilty in federal court to swapping out Lee's antibiotics with Cytotec, an abortion pill. Lee took one pill and lost Memphis at 6 weeks along. He's now serving a 14-year sentence, but Lee says it should have been much more.
It wasn't fair to Memphis, most of all, that didn't get to be here.
But at the time, Florida law only allowed murder or manslaughter charges if it could be proved the fetus would have survived outside the womb, a law Lee couldn't live with after she heard her son's heartbeat.
So I love him very much. And I think about him every day. He's always in my heart with me.
For nearly a decade, state lawmakers had talked about stiffer laws, but the bills never got enough support to pass until ABC Action News brought Lee's case to the forefront. On Friday, Governor Rick Scott signed House Bill 59 into law, making it a crime to kill or injure a fetus at any stage of development.
It's all worth it if one lady gets to hold her baby.
Remy's law will go into effect on October 1st. Now you can see more of my interview with Remy Lee on our website, abcactionnews.com, and on ABC Action News Now on our mobile app.